everyone, welcome to React Nexus. I'm your host, Veena. Today, I have an exciting guest, Dinesh, an SDE2 at GeekyAnts, specializing in React Native frameworks. With over 3 years of experience, he is passionate about building scalable web applications. But that's not all. He is also a great speaker, known for keeping audiences engaged and simplifying the concepts topics like a pro. In this episode, we will talk about his journey from college to becoming a front end engineer and also his approach to learning anything in tech. Dinesh also shares how he got into mentoring, meetups, and public speaking, along with a valuable advice for aspiring developers. And here is something unexpected. We also talked about his love for acting, a passion he once considered pursuing but had to step back from. It's a story of balancing dreams with reality, something many of us can relate to. Hi Dinesh, welcome to the show.
Hi, hi.
Yes, so I know you from one of the meetups that we have attended. The that is from the Geeky Ants. Good to know you
Yes.
from then. Yeah. So today, as we start, so can you just introduce about yourself and how was your journey since from college, basically?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for having me to this podcast, and it's good that we have got connected over Meetup, and you have maintained that connection till here. Regarding myself, you all know my name is Dinesh. Currently working as a SD2 engineer at GeekyAnts company over past 3 years, I guess. In the next month, I would be completing my 3 years over GeekyAnts company,
Great.
and I've done my graduation. LPU University, Lovely Professional University, Punjab. So initially, after completing my intermediate, I haven't cleared J mains, and I've written MSET, and I haven't even got good rank over there. I think around 20,000, 30,000, I guess. And then later, I've Googled whether do we have any other colleges which hire, like, get students based on their intermediate marks, not regarding JE marks or MSET marks. So I do have good score at intermediate. I do have 90% over there. So with that score, I have applied to Lovely Professional University, and I've got a seat over there with 30% scholarship, I guess. So I was very much confused initially. What stream should I pursue? Because I was not aware of any particular stream. I was not aware of ECE. I was not aware of CSE. I just know the names and their expansion, but I'm not completely sure what those people or what the course is related to. My
Okay.
interest was purely on side of acting. So
That's interesting to know.
yeah, I was like very much interested on acting side. I was like very much brought up by watching movies and everything. Every Friday I used to go theater. Doesn't matter whether I do have college or not. I would have bunked the college if there is any movie available, and I've gone to movies. And I
Okay.
felt much interested regarding all those things, and I wanted to become an actor. And then I told that to my parents that I wanted to become an actor.
Okay.
The
What
things they have
was
got
the
up.
response? First response.
They were like, no, like what? Not a chance. I mean, they said, you can act here in front of us. We will see your acting, but you should pursue your BTech. I said, no, ma, we also have acting schools in Mumbai and in other some places in Chennai. I can go there. That doesn't require any degree or anything. The
Hmm.
whatever study I do have now, that is more than enough. I can directly start. And they were like, okay, what is the fee over there? So I
Uh-huh.
have done some research in the Mumbai acting industry. It's around 7 lakhs, I guess, per year.
per year. Okay.
Not sure exactly. Yeah, 7 to 9 lakhs per year.
Uh-huh.
After telling that 7 to 9 lakhs per year, and they were like, the first question they have asked whether you'll get placed or not. I mean, is it guaranteed that they'll make you an actor and they'll give chances in films and TV serials? I said no. There's no such guarantee. They would teach me the acting, and regarding the chances and everything, it's up to luck and directors and everything. And they were like, no, it's very unstable, and we don't have 9 lakhs or 7 lakhs, whatever. You should first start concentrating on your education. Then later on, after completing your education, then let's see.
Mm.
Let's think about it. I was not convinced, but I have to get convinced because that age is not something I can stand up on my decision, right? I have to somehow get influenced. So I
Yes.
have got influenced like every other people.
Mm.
I've got influenced by my parents. I was not even sure what exactly the CSC is. So
Okay.
I've gone there.
Okay.
I've joined.
So the first thing is, one good thing is like, yeah, you were okay with what parents have said. Of course, like passion is different, and what the life, actual life is kind of different, and that's
Yes,
a kind of
yes.
good advice they have given. But the good
Hmm.
thing is like, yeah, you had that passion and you researched about it. That's a good thing.
Ah,
Mhm.
yes.
And
I've
like,
researched and
yeah.
yes, yeah.
Like once you started the CSC.
Why CSA? Yeah. So even my parents doesn't know why CSA. They just know one thing. We do have many jobs on CSC, so
Okay.
let's make our son to learn CSC. That's the only agenda which they do have.
Mhm.
They are not concerned whether I am interested or not.
Okay.
So actually, see, even if you think from their perspective, they do have a great perspective. They want their son to get settled.
Yes.
So they are looking in the market how we can make our son get settled easily. So they have seen, CSC has many jobs. So if our son also get into the CSC, he'll also get placed and he'll also settle. As from parents' view, they don't want to take a risk in
Yes.
their son's career, right? At the end of the day, their main aim is their son has to settle. He
Yes.
has to earn some money. He has to live the life and everything. And if they worry that if he go into this particular industry or if he take this particular course, he might not able to get settled easily. If they get that small doubt, also amount of doubt, they would not able to. They would not take 1% risk also in their son's career.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is the reason I've got to know that. And from the I've thought, I'm thinking from my parents perspective also why they are saying and everything. And then later, I haven't given up on my acting. I've thought, after completion of my BTech and everything, I still do have time to do the acting. I just don't get chance to go to the acting school, but it's not something mandatory, right, to go to acting school, and then only you can able to act in films and every other thing. So I've thought completion after completing the BTech, I'll score some good. I'll do a job for 2 3 years. Then uh, parallelly I'll look for something, give auditions to the short films initially, and then to the any other video shoots and everything. I've thought in that way, and I've gone to the college, and I was very much afraid. It's a 600 acres campus,
Oh, nice.
larger than my village, bigger than I can see. I mean, the that is the first time I've gone out of city, not even state. The
Oh.
first, the first time after again 15 years, I guess 15 years. That is the first time I've got out of the city,
Mm-hmm.
and first flight and everything in the initial experience while going to the college.
So
And
like when you say out of the city, okay, so you're from Hyderabad, right? So you were
yes,
in the Hyderabad from childhood also, like how's it?
I was born in Andhra Pradesh, and I've been and brought up in Hyderabad.
Okay.
So my native place is Andhra Pradesh.
Mm-hmm.
It's a village. And later, our family has moved to Hyderabad, and
Mhm.
for over 23 years till now, we are staying in Hyderabad. So our family also started everything from zero. Like they have came here, rented a house, and started building the career. So then later, when I've gone to the college and the buildings were very much big, large buildings, I was very much afraid. I haven't seen autos or cars in the campus.
In the okay.
Yeah. So all these are very much new for me, and were very much afraid initially. Later on, with the roommates,
Mhm.
who do I have in the hostel, they are also having the similar mindset. They also came from South India. Luckily, I do have someone who speak my language,
That's great.
because
The
I'm very much poor. I'm very much poor in Hindi. I
Mhm.
don't even know. I can't even speak Hindi properly.
Okay.
Even though we do have subject in our school, but even though we do have subject, our Hindi teacher used to read in Hindi,
Mhm.
explain in Telugu. Okay,
Okay.
it doesn't matter what subject is, they would be reading in brain, and they'll start explaining Telugu. Like, see, end of the day, I'll be understanding what it is in Telugu only. So I was very much not up to the mark at Hindi. So I thought it's going to be very much difficult for me. And the first day of my college, I've managed myself with my English, and the people in my class were very much prepared, I would say.
Prepared.
Someone have already learned C language, and they have, like
Okay.
for example, they have already learned C language and they have joined the college.
Uh,
Someone has taken a career break for over 6 months,
Okay.
started learned all the C++ languages, and they started attending the college. I was like, when they're discussing regarding all this programming language and everything, they've
Mhm.
asked me, how many languages do you know? I
Okay.
said, I know two languages. And they were like, two languages? Okay, what languages? I said, Telugu and English. And they were like, shocked. They were discussing regarding the programming languages, and I'm talking about speaking languages, because I was not aware of the C and all other languages. For
Mhm.
me, computer science, initially, what I thought was system, hardware. I have to create systems, I have to create laptops and everything. Microsoft Word, Paint, that's it. I was
Mhm.
not completely aware of coding. I have to write code to create this web page. I have to write code
Okay.
to build an application. I was not completely aware. But as days has passed on, my friends over there has helped me to learn something. What is this? What is that? And I've gone through the library in the college. I've used books over there. I've understand what exactly is computer science and engineer. Then eventually, after completing my first semester, I've scored above average marks.
Mhm.
Later, we all know, very tough period, pandemic has arrived,
Yes.
and after first semester, from the next semester onwards, I've attended college through online. I've came back to my hometown, and then I've attended all the classes through online.
The main drawback of the students who have attended in the pandemic is like you guys have missed a lot of fun in the college, to be frank.
Yes, yes, yes. Even I feel very bad if I remember those days, and I'll feel happy again that I've got much time to learn many things and explore. As I've been at home, I can parallelly attend the classes, and I can also read books, and very comfortable life. I can get home food and every other thing. But I have missed college life. I have missed friends over there. I have, like, college doesn't only gives you the knowledge, it also teaches you the life. We would be saying that, right?
Yes.
So somewhere where you grow, where you learn, you'll get to know good things, bad things, and every other thing, which has not happened in my life. So I've got much from my parents itself, what is good and what is bad, rather than the surroundings.
Mm.
And the friends whomever I made in the first semester are in still touch,
Mhm.
and we are now still, thanks to the internet, which makes us connected still, even in the pandemic and every other thing. That's how my BTech has happened for 3 years. 2 years happened over online, and the last year, fourth year, instead of going to the college, as I have got opportunity at GeekyAnts, internship opportunity, I don't have to uh, go to the fourth year. I
Mhm.
can use the time to do the internship, which is very great thing actually.
Okay.
It's you would be getting money, corporate experience, even before completing your graduation. So
Is
the
that
fourth
was
year,
that from college? That an internship was mandatory from the college side, or like you got interested and you just
no,
switched?
no, we got opportunities to apply for internships from the
Okay.
college. Yeah. So GeekyAnts has came to our college, and I have applied to GeekyAnts.
Okay.
Before applying, I have done some research and everything. The company is great. The office working environment is perfect. So then I have applied to GeekyAnts, and then I've gone through the uh, interview rounds. Initial round, I have been asked with the DSA question,
Mhm.
and then later second round, I have been asked regarding technical interview on front end. At
Mhm.
last, I've cleared the technical interview, then HR round, and I was very much happy. And that was my first interview and the last interview. I haven't attended any interviews before,
Mhm.
and that was my first actually. And
That's a very good thing to hear, at the first attempt you're cracking some kind of interview, especially
yes,
with
yes.
respect to a good company, as we know. Okay, like when it comes to when you said a DSA, right? So I just want to, pause and ask a question here. So, like most of them feel DSA is quite difficult. So what's your take
Hmm.
on that?
It's completely a perspective how you see.
Mm-hmm.
If you see it is a very tough subject, you feel tough. If
Mm-hmm.
you see it's not a tough subject, it is very much easy to learn. It is easy to learn. So I always feel it is the subject or whatever it is not tough or it is not hard. How you are seeing that subject would matters. For
Yes.
example, for me, mathematics is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask, for me, for my friend, it is very easy because he do well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how you see the subject, whether you are interested to learn or not. I'm not at all interested in mathematics, so I feel very tough regarding that subject. My friend feel very much easy because he's very much interested in doing the maths and everything. So DSA also, if you have to feel a subject to be easy, you
Mm-hmm.
have to love the subject.
Okay, the first thing
Then
is
only,
your suggestion is to love the subject.
exactly, if you know what that subject would do,
Mm-hmm.
why the subject is required, it's not something you're doing for interview purpose. If you learn something for clearing the interview, you learn up to the interview itself to clear the interview. You'll have a boundary. I should learn up to here. For example, service-based companies will only ask questions up to linked list. Then I
Yes.
learn up to linked list.
Mm-hmm.
If you restrict yourself in learning till there, it's not something you are really learning.
True.
You are no, it's a cheat you are doing to clear the interview. You're just doing then and there, and you are just doing the interview here. If you love the subject, if
Mm-hmm.
you know what exactly does this DSA, how it is required in the development and in your software industry, then you learn the subject. You'll continuously learn. Interviews are something which should come in your learning, and you would obviously clear the interview as you are continuously learning the subject. So I would say you should not learn DSA to clear the interview. Learn the DSA, then you start parallelly you start giving interviews.
I think that's a great advice,
I
and
was,
yeah, that's a good thing.
yeah.
But here is like, okay, if someone wants to learn DSA today, so what do you suggest from where they have to start? Like any resources that you would like to say, or any tips and tricks for that sake alone?
Okay, so I would say how I have learned DSA, and it helped me a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
For no background, the computer science background, not aware of programming language also, but still I would have cleared DSA.
Mm-hmm.
I would say first start with the language. If you are a beginner, you
Mm-hmm.
haven't learned anything, if you're like zero, if you're starting from zero, you haven't know any programming language, I would suggest you to learn Python or JavaScript rather than C++ or Java, because there would be different perspective in this particular thing. Some might suggest you to learn C, and some might suggest you to learn C++. But in my perspective, in my point of view, if you could get started now in the latest technology, the trend, whatever going on 2024 to 2025, I would suggest you to start with Python or JavaScript, because they are high level languages.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very much easy for you to learn, easy for you to understand, and easy for you to code,
Okay.
which gives you the initial motivation, right? So initial motivation for you, when you could write a program easily, you
Mm-hmm.
would get a nice feeling that you have started writing a program,
Yes.
right? And if you do the same thing using C++ or C, you would initially find tough with all the terms, whatever we do have in C++, because it's not a high level language as Python or JavaScript, right? But if you could see Python and JavaScript, they're like plain English. You can
Yes.
easily read the code, and
Yes.
other would understand easily. That would gives you initial start and motivation for you to learn to do the coding, and then slowly start exploring the concepts one by one. Start with time complexity, space complexity, and before even that, you have to fall in love with the subject, and that comes when you know more about the subject. What exactly does DSA brings to you in terms of software engineer, in terms of your coding and everything. So whenever I've got to know that DSA is not only for interview clear purpose, it is something which trains your brain. Problem solving ability would be increasing only by solving the problems. Obviously,
Yes.
I have, whenever I do the front end application or task given by my company,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere DSA was there. Even to remove duplicates, I have to use DSA. Even though we are using the inbuilt methods, but still in my brain I would know how the logic is working behind it, as
Yes.
I have already learned DSA. So I
Mm-hmm.
can write my own function. I cannot completely depend upon the inbuilt functions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So all those stuff, when you got to know the subject, you have to love the subject first before even starting it. Then you'll get to know why exactly the DSA is required. Then you'll start slowly to love the subject. Then only then, when you love the subject, you will automatically figure out yourself the good resources. You'll
Yes.
automatically do the instinct in your brain. Will start searching on the internet. First
Mm-hmm.
you have to get that starving. You'll get that starving when you know about the subject. You will be starving very much when you know about the subject, and when you fall in love with the subject. That starving, whatever is created in you, will make you search, and you will only find good resources and everything. If you ask me, I've done lead code 75 sheet,
Mm-hmm.
driver sheet. These are all the set of problems, quality problems, which covers all the patterns. So I would say you also have to divide your problems, whatever you have on the lead code, on pattern basis. And
Mm-hmm.
if you could solve all the questions on pattern basis, 10 quality problems, if you could solve on one pattern, another 10 another pattern, repeat this thing, revise yourself, apply those things on your project instead of parallelly doing all coding. If you could start any personal project, and if you could use those DSA concepts over your project, that would be great. You will also understand exactly where we are using this search functionality, search algorithm, sorting algorithm in your project application wherever you're creating. Yeah.
True.
Going up the questions, you would find many interesting for me.
Yeah.
Acting is something you haven't assumed, I would say, right? I have many things in such a way.
Mhm. Because
Yeah.
the beauty of engineers is when we start discussing about the core thing that we do, we start digging up more things like, yeah, we are doing this already. Yeah, yeah, we have told for even our juniors regarding this many times. I think this is a very good advice to learn about DSA, not just for the interview sake, but also indeed we use it in our day-to-day software development that we do. Yeah, although we don't see it. Yeah, for this, usually what I advise is for the any juniors or anyone who asks for me. Already, most of the frameworks are open source, so they can just go and see how the code has been written. Yeah, so we are so much used to just installing the npm packages, or kind of libraries and just use them instantly. But if we get to know how that piece of code works, I think that will be a great kind of advantage for their knowledge as well. And that will help
Hmm.
them to optimize their solution that they are actually writing.
Yes.
And if we could know, there are few of the data structures that we use already, like arrays, maybe like stacks, hash maps, and
Hmm.
what else, like search, sorting algorithms. We use it already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like some of the graphs kind of things will not be using much unless it is required for the project. So that's why
Hmm.
most of them don't have the exposure for that. That's what I believe.
Yes. Yes. So basically, when you start building advanced projects, then you would be like getting to know or using the advanced data structures such as trees and graphs. Even I have used trees data structure in one of my project when I have to traverse DOM elements,
Hmm.
as DOM is something in tree like structure, right? So I have used some tree algorithms to make the DOM traverse much faster. Yeah, we would be using, depends upon what type of project. And if you could see Google Maps under the hood, they would be using graphs to find the shortest distance between 2 points. They're everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. And especially like when it comes to some of the applications from my interview experience previously for if you are going for giving interview for some companies like Uber, Zomato, or Ola kind where maps included, so they're like definitely they need knowledge of graphs, trees, how they works.
Yes. 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 Hmm.
Yeah, in usually like we don't come across it, but yeah, based on the project and complexity of the project, will
Yes. When you love something, you'll get the starving in you to know about it more.
yes,
So if you love DSA, like what it is and how it is, then you'll get the starving feeling in you. So the starving feeling will drives you over the internet to search the best resources and drives you to give some time, particularly for it.
yes, and
Yeah.
like this algorithm, whatever you said right now, it will work for every other frameworks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every other thing,
that's for
everything, even in life also. If you
yes,
could, if you want, if you love someone also, you'll have that starving to make them impress. You'll have the starving to take care of them. Everything. It is a universal thing where you could apply it on everywhere.
yes,
Love the subject, you'll always get the starving to achieve that.
yes. Okay, so the next, okay, how about your interest in acting right now?
Acting. Okay. Regarding this acting, actually, I've gone to some couple of auditions also.
Mhm.
Due to the commitment which I do have on my software IT field, I cannot able to successfully achieve that because, for example, even if I get selected, I have to give a time over there for
Mhm.
almost 3 to 4 months or 5 months.
Yes,
As many companies wouldn't be having the option called career break, right?
yes.
We do have this option in multinational fan companies, but not in every company we do have option called career break. So
Mhm.
I'm just doing that to know my capability, whether I'm into it or not, like whether I can able to achieve, whether I can able to clear that audition or not. So
Mhm.
I've done some auditions, I've got selected for short films,
Mhm.
but due to the time availability and everything, I cannot able to take over that project. But for sure, uh, even after some time, I'll check the availability on weekends or any other day. I'll try to go over there, try to do at least a short film,
Mhm.
even if it takes some time also. I'm looking how to plan accordingly, parallelly how to manage both things.
No, how you're feeling? Like your passion is in acting, and here the software is quite different.
Yes.
How these two are running?
So basically, I'm not a kind of person who do works forcefully.
Mhm.
So it's not now whatever development I'm doing. It's not something I do because I'm for money. It's
Mhm.
not something I do for money. If I am doing something, if I am spending 8 hours a day on one particular thing,
Mhm.
It's obvious that I'm loving that. So eventually, when I was not aware of CSC,
Mhm.
and when I am aware of CSC, and if you write the code, you're able to create this application. Everything is in your hands. Whatever user interacts is something which you write.
Mhm.
When I've got to know all those stuff, I've started loving the subject also. I've
Mhm.
started loving the programming, how you write program and everything. And people would be using your program. People would be interacting with the websites, whatever you have created. That feeling would be great when you get to know. So I've also got interested in coding and development part also. That is the reason I'm still doing for 8 hours a day,
Yes.
right? Otherwise, I would have left it until 6 months of initial period. I've, in it, the when I've got passion over the acting
Mhm.
from the movies I'm watching, in the same way, I've got interest over development as I'm learning it on my BTech.
Mhm.
Initially, I started learning to clear the exams. Later on, I've continued it because I've loved the subject.
Someone like kind of inspiration in this tech field? Like, have you ever felt like, okay, I should be like this kind of a person, maybe via online or in the work environment? Like, have you got influence from anyone?
Yeah, if you could ask me who is the one person who influenced you
Mhm.
to do the coding part and everything, I would say Bill Gates. Because initially, Bill Gates, when I was in BTech or in the intermediate, he's the world richest person, right? So the world richest person gets anything whatever he wants.
Mhm.
He would get anything whatever he wants because he is richest person. And I've got to know how he became the richest person.
Mhm.
So he inspired me to get into the tech field
Mhm.
because it is now possible. It is obviously possible to become a richest person
Mhm.
inside the tech industry.
Okay.
So I feel if you love the subject and if you have the scope where you could grow to the world richest person, then obviously we should pursue that. And in that particular way, I have got interest in IT field.
Mhm.
As you would become world richest person, you would, and if you love the subject, obviously.
Yes.
So I wanted the space to be an opportunity. So I've used that opportunity. I've learned technologies and stuff. I
Mhm.
haven't become richest yet, but surely I'll use this tech environment to grow myself and everything.
So that kind of fire should be there in order to achieve something. Like we might
Yes, yes,
go to that extent, but at least we'll be good at what we are doing. Like instead of
exactly.
making it kind of very draggy or scolding it every time when we do it. Instead of that, this kind of a motivation is kind of good in order to improve ourselves and to be present and to enjoy the life. That is a kind of most important rather than just complaining about our jobs, complaining about what we are doing, where are we in the life. That's kind of a
Yeah, yeah. And
attitude.
even when I say a richest person, I doesn't mean I should get 1 billion or 2 billion in my bank account.
Mhm.
Even if I have something greater than what I have now, I'm rich
Yes.
comparatively. So before I used to live in a single bedroom house. Now I'm living in a three BHK.
Mhm.
So I have changed this self, right? I have changed from my previous self.
Yes.
So I have gone rich from past 2 years to now. I would say that is also an achievement, right? So it is not something I'm limiting it to 3 BHK. I would still aim for more, aim for more, aim for more. That what keeps me to drive in this tech world. That what keeps me to learn new technologies and everything. Right? I need to have some destination in my brain
Mhm.
to travel in the tech field.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about retirement and settling in Switzerland, I just need some money,
Yes.
and yeah, I can achieve that using in this tech field, right?
Yes.
So I have to have something in my brain. I have to change the way I am for the future. Then that's what always keeps you to learn new things and keeps you bounded to the tech industry.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, in all these
Hmm.
tech Lean and your journey of your acting, passion for your acting, and your journey to
Hmm.
in the software field. Okay, so now,
Yes.
yeah, we have met in one of the meetups, right? So
Yes.
I observed like you had a unique style in delivering the content to the audience.
Yes.
And later I got to know after the session that it was your first kind of official on-stage kind of speaking experience. But for me, I didn't feel it was a first time because I could sense that energy on the stage. Not just me, even the audience were able to grasp clearly what you were trying to say. Yeah, you were able to get that kind of unique style basically.
Yeah. So when I'm started to give the public, I can meet up in the GeekyAnts company. I always have this thing. I have to not follow the pattern. For example, if everybody is giving the meetup in a normal presentation way by
Mhm.
showing the PPTs and going on through the PPTs and everything, I feel okay. Let's change the trend, right? So why we should follow the same pattern and everything? Why can't we just make it much interactive? Add a story, narrate your whatever presentation you do have in your brain. Narrate it as a story. Make engaging. Write a script. Make audience very much engaging. If say, for example, you would be watching continuous movie for 2 hours
Yeah.
without no bore feel and everything. That is because of visuals, engagement, story, and what keeps you sit on your chair, right? In the
Yes.
same way, if you want to make, even if you want to make 20 minutes or 30 minutes talk very much engaging to the audience, you have to make it a narrative kind, like add some spices, add some humor, interact with the audience rather than it says speak. The name itself says talk, right? So talk with them. They'll talk with you. It's a chit chat sessions, right? So add something, deliver your content in story manner. So I've come, like when I've got to know we can always do something different. Then my first meetup was regarding generative AI, and
Yes.
I've done a very great research on generative AI.
Mhm.
My thing is when I want to deliver something, uh, I have to know every key in detail of that particular thing. If I'm delivering regarding generative AI, I have to know what, why, when, how, like everything, every key in detail. Who has created, why it has came, what was the initial thought of the creator while creating this thing. If I get every detail of particular thing,
Mhm.
then you'll get much confidence. When you have more content, you get much confidence. When you
Yes.
have less content, you have less confidence. I feel that. So I have flooded my brain with more content. I have gone through many YouTube videos, like why we need AI, before even how AI is working, why we need the AI, like why we need the generative AI, and then how it is working internally, from zero, from even machine 0 to 1, machine from binary language, how it is working,
Mhm.
everything. If I get to understand, then I would love the content generative AI. If I love the content, as I already told you, you would be delivering it very much confidently.
Yes.
Even though it was my first thing, first public speaking, even I felt a little bit of nervous, but you couldn't able to see that because I was wearing baggy pants. You couldn't able to see my legs shivering, but internally they are shivering. But the content is something has like savior for me to show the nervousness in my words or in my delivery. I'm
No.
not nervous because I do have great content in my brain.
Mhm.
So when I've learned a very great content, I feel always happy to share that with people.
Mhm.
So when I share originally from deep my heart, when I share something from inside, I won't feel any nervous. If you share something from your brain, you'll forget and you'll feel nervous. If you share something from your heart, you'll not feel nervous. You'll
Yes.
feel confident enough. You'll deliver it much focused way. You deliver it in much clarity way. So this is a trick which I use rather than speaking out from brain. I would be speaking out from heart, and you would get that only when you love the subject and you read it. When you do more research, when you work on it, then only it goes inside the heart. Then you'll understand why this AI, why this generative AI.
Mhm.
That something drives you to be very much confident enough on the stage, and that was I have done actually. That is what exactly I have done.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. And nervousness, it's like it will be there for every speaker. That is what I believe. So even after attending a lot of meetups, speaking at different stages, I personally feel like that small nervousness will be there at initially. Like especially for me, what happens? It will be there like a little bit. Yeah, I'll feel like okay, what should I?
Hmm.
What if? But most of the time, like once I get enter into the stage, right, I'll just because most of the topics that I pick based on my experience, because I have the hands-on and I have been through a lot of those journey basically. So I
Yeah.
don't feel something that what I'm speaking, which is from kind of universe or different universe. It is like, yo, that is this is my experience. That is what I'm speaking, and the
Yes.
thing starts flowing easily. It's not
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
like I'm trying to remember something, I'm trying to memorize something, or it's not like that. It's just as you said, the depth of the knowledge will gives us more confidence when we are on the stage and when we connect with the people. Obviously, those things will start, putting into their exact places. No, they'll just
Yeah. And also, you should not prepare to talk. You
yes,
should talk when you are prepared.
yes,
Yeah, that would be very much good for you to deliver a beautiful content. If you prepare to talk, you'd only talk what you have prepared, what you
yes.
do have on your brain. But if you talk when you're already prepared, when you have gone through your experience, and then if you talk, you would be delivering the experience, whatever you had, the problems, whatever you face to the audience. That connection is much stronger actually with the audience rather than talking what you have prepared at that instinct before 2 days of the speak. So
Yes.
that is the reason if I even take more time for my meetups, even if I am not giving many meetups, that is because I'm not yet experienced with all those stuff. If
Mhm.
I experience with any particular concept for over 6 months, then I'll speak on that particular concept.
Mhm. Okay,
So
so
that is how I'll be doing this.
yeah, so like, will you be attending any other meetups, or it is just only fews?
No, no, no. I do have also applied for React Nexus 2025 for a speaker. Uh, I think today is the last day they would be accepting speakers.
Yes.
So I've given them a wonderful topic
Hmm.
uh, because from the past 3 years, whatever experience do I have in the front end development, I want to share those experience. And also the topic which I have given is very much interesting topic regarding front end system designs.
Hmm.
How would you design a large application? What
Hmm.
are the key points you have to remember and every other things, and how you could use AI to achieve it very quickly.
Hmm.
So that is something I've got up the topic in my brain, and I'm working on it. As we do have more time till June or July, I guess. I'm working on it. Let's see if everything goes good. I'll be announcing something on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, the most okay in one of the meetups, I got to know like okay from students. Students were attending that meetup, and I got to know from them. Um, in colleges, from colleges, they don't get these kind of exposures basically, but they are getting to know about these meetups, etc., via Instagram. Yeah, few of them got from Instagram and LinkedIn, basically. So, in these regards, what would you suggest? Where they have to search for how these kind of meetups will be arranged, um, or how they can reach out to gain much knowledge from these kind of conferences?
Hmm. So I would suggest first thing would be a LinkedIn, in which we do have many communities in LinkedIn. We do have React Bangalore, React Play in LinkedIn, and I have got those communities connection through LinkedIn itself.
Mhm.
So that would be the first step. You can search for communities on LinkedIn, and also Meetup app is something which we do have, right? You could check on the application where are the meetups happening, what kind of meetups happening. You can categorize your meetups according to your personal interest, according to your IT, painting, artist, something. You can categorize, and you would be having whatever events are happening in the nearby your area. So you can accordingly attend those events, and also you can join the community groups and WhatsApp groups to be follow the pages of community groups so that you would be updated day by day and everything. I would suggest LinkedIn and Meetup app, two things to stay on update. The first event which I've given was through the company, but the second event, which is outside the company, I've got to know that is happening because of Meetup app. I've registered myself for a speaker in the app itself. So it's a great app. If you could use, spend some time over it, you'll understand the app, and you'll have notification features and every other thing. It will notify you whenever a new event is happening and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot, like, I wanted to ask you something regarding this stuff. Hmm. Okay, fine. I remember now. Um, okay, I just want to ask you a question. Like, for your, let me go to your school days or college days, maybe not, because you haven't been for a college at all. That's
Yeah, yeah.
coming back to school days. Like, have you been given opportunity seminars and all?
Any,
Like seminars.
yeah, yeah.
Have you did
I'll
any
say,
seminars in your schooling?
as yeah, I get it where you are getting, like, do I have any experience before giving
Yeah.
any seminars, right?
Yes.
In school level and college level.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say one thing: I don't have any previous seminar experience in school days. But if you could ask, how did I get the stage handling
Mm.
at the initial?
Yes.
You are not afraid at the initial stage, right? But how did you manage? That is because I was leader at my school. I've represented my school. We would be having president, vice president, and everything. Election campaign would be happening in the school and every other things. So
Okay.
I have participated. I have nominated myself for a president. We have done it like
Mm-hmm.
real state elections. I've gone through class by class. I've asked, if you could vote me, I'll add a games period. I'll remove your max period. All the stuff was something I've got up there. So I haven't felt any fear over there because I have to do that campaign to get the votes. So that was the only thing which I had in my brain. So fear was not, I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So fear is something which comes only when you think of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do, I don't think of fear. I'll think of the result. What do I get after completing of that particular thing? So the result would be I'll become a president to my school. I'll get some perks, and I'll be like very famous celebrity in my school. So that was the result in my brain. According to that result, I'm doing the campaign. Doesn't matter how many students are there in the class. That is all not what I'm seeing. Whatever I'm seeing is I'll become president if I do the campaign good. So that was my only one thing which I had in my brain. That what kept me very confident enough, and I didn't felt any stage fear over there in my school also. I think that is one thing which helped me initially when I'm doing the talk also. Even though if it is first time, but in the blood itself, I do have that. I've overcome that from the childhood itself. So
Mm.
that how is how I've managed.
Yeah, basically, we call this as a go-getter kind of mindset. Like, whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
just think of, okay, what will be the end results after I do this specific task, and
yeah.
how can I prepare for that? That's all. Like,
Yes,
no ifs and buts of which are not
yeah,
necessary. Yeah.
exactly. You have to have only one thing in your brain. What would be the outcome? What is the result? And what are the perks you would get if it all went success? That's it.
Yeah, and also, like, one more thing is, if we had to also think about, I call it as a net. What if goes wrong, or what might go wrong, to prepare for the worst.
Prepare for the worst. Yeah, I also believe that, but worst case, nothing would happen because I always feel
Mm-hmm.
worst case for me is death. There is no worst case than that, right? And if it that is not happening, there is no worst case. So if, for example, if I've gone through a meetup and if that didn't go well, worst case, what would happen? it would happen, like some people might discuss, "Arey, he is not good," and he'll forget. But nothing would affect me personally, right? So if you think worst case is, there is no such as worst case. Only your life would be the worst case. That is the only thing which you have to remember. Worst, if you have any worst case scenario, then you will start nervous and every other thing. So I'll also not feel what audience would think about me. If you get this feeling what people might think about you,
Yes.
then you'll start worrying about yourself. You'll get nervous and everything.
Yeah, basically the
You
confidence
have,
will be reduced if we start
yeah,
focusing on rather than actual thing. If we start focus on the people, it will be a problem. Yeah.
when you start speaking to impress the audience, then you'll not get focused on your content. Okay, if you have some things, I have to go stand in the center of the stage and I have to speak, I have to cover the entire stage. If you have all those calculations now, you'll forget about the content.
Yes.
Whenever you try to impress the audience now, you're not able to achieve that. If you have
That
content
will be
inside
very
you,
worst. Like if we start, if you try to impress others, it will be like very worst speak ever. That is what I,
yeah, yeah.
because I saw, I personally don't do that, but I saw few of them doing it, so it will be a great disaster. Yeah.
Yes, even I have seen some people. They'll be having some tasks written in the paper. First I have to be at center of the stage. Then I have to go left. Then I have to go right. Then I have to go back. If you have all these calculations, that would not be great for you to deliver perfect content. So what I'll feel, I'll instead of writing those things, I'll be having initially I have to interact with the audience. At this point, I have to ask a question to the audience. At this point, I have to tell a story about my experience. If you have this in your brain as a point, that would be great. You would automatically, subconsciously, you would be roaming the entire stage.
Yes.
Okay, because when you deliver content at one particular area, and if you are doing it continuously, your body won't accept it. Obviously your body will start moving to the next place if
Yes.
you are keeping on talking at one particular place. So you don't have to technically have in your brain regarding moving. If you continuously talk, automatically your body would suggest you to move to another place and talk.
Yes. Like it's
And
a
you'll
kind of
also find,
subconscious kind of
yeah,
practice that will be coming. So automatically we'll start connecting with the audience, we start talking to them, and we start moving as well. That happens automatically. That even I too felt.
yeah.
Yes.
If you also, you have to feel one thing, that audience are around you,
Yes.
like spread it across the auditorium. If you have that thing in your brain, you'll automatically move because you know that audience are over there and over last, right? So if
Yes.
you have all those things in your brain, automatically your voice would be high because it has to be reaching to the last of the members. So
Mhm.
all these things would subconsciously be developed when you really face the audience. If you only face first two lines of people, you would be standing only in front of them,
Yes.
right? If you open your eyes and see the audience, if you would see the last person of the audience, automatically you'll go to the left side of the stage so that he can able to see, right side of the stage so that he can able to see. That is how you would maintain the interaction with the audience,
Yeah.
right? uh,
Yeah. Dinesh, one last question I have with respect to the speaking aspects or the meetup
hmm.
aspects. So you'll be uh, giving like the topics, right? Basically, we will be submitting some of the topics. How would you select or how would you decide? Okay, this is the topic that I have to speak in this kind of a meetup.
Yeah. So basically, when I go through the development process, when I'm going through the company, creating, building the projects and everything,
Mhm.
if I find some topic very interesting,
Mhm.
or if I find that topic I was lagging behind and I've got to know the solution, how can we achieve this thing
Yes.
from through any other internet resource or not, and if I find that particular thing as an interesting point,
Mhm.
that would be registered in my brain
Okay.
automatically.
Yes.
So, like for example, in React 19, we have got a new hook, use transition hook.
Yes.
When I've got to know regarding the transition hook, it breaks the concept of single thread language using that hook.
Yes.
And it is very interesting. We have been learning since last, well, language has introduced that it is a single thread language, but but this hook breaks the thing. You can able to interrupt the main thread, and you can able to do the task priority wise. You can able to have the urgent task and non-urgent task. When I find that thing, I felt very much interested.
Yeah.
Arey, yeah, this is amazing. I have to learn more about it. And I've learned more about it. I've learned how it is working internally.
Mhm.
When you learn more, you'll get to know all the things about that hook.
Yes.
And when you have many things in, like, imposed in your body, you'll start feeling to deliver it,
Yeah.
deliver to the people. You'll feel like, "Arey, I can explain him very much clearly because I know how it internally works.
Yes.
I can tell you much clearly because I know how it internally works." So I'll learn much of the stuff. I'll insert much of the knowledge from the internet. Then
Mhm.
I'll get that starving to deliver. After deliver, then I'll open the Meetup app. I'll check any meetups are happening, any possibility for me to come as a speaker or not. Then at that point, I'll open the app and I'll check if I am ready with the content.
Mhm.
It's not something I check. There is an opportunity. Now I'll prepare for the content. If I'm having the content, then I'll check the meetups where they are happening, how they are happening, so that I'll have much confidence. I'll be like full prepared with all the weapons in my hand. Then I can able to perfectly win the war. That's how I basically plan everything.
So it's like you will tackle some problem in your day-to-day work, and once you got to know, okay, this is the solution, this is it, and this is how magically it works, and if you feel like it will be helpful for others as well, like you're gonna, you know, put out it as in the form of information to others.
Yes, and yeah, many might not able to know these things, right?
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, like basically we attend the meetups like to get to know the unknowns, like what the things are happening, and yeah, in most of the meetups what I have attended previously, I got to know, yeah, the things will be using it on a daily basis, but still will not be knowing how to maximize the usage of those. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, those kind of new information will be getting to know in the
Yeah.
meetups. The kind of
and
advantage.
also and also one thing here, if I'm delivering something, I would assume in this way. I would follow this one trick. If everybody who tries to deliver one particular topic, if you could follow this trick, what I'm trying to say now,
Mhm.
it would be perfect, it would be complete. You would be not going anywhere. I missed this point, I missed this thing. So
Mhm.
the trick which I had is,
Yep.
you have to act as a salesperson whenever you're trying to deliver.
Okay.
So you have to sell whatever concept you have in your brain to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to sell something, you have to be prepared for every question whatever the audience is asking.
Yes.
Then you'll understand, then you learn much about the product whatever you're trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to sell my concept called use transition hook, I have to also learn why this hook. Don't we have any other hook? Because in terms of selling a product, people would obviously ask why this product, why not that product. We have many products in the market, why your product I have to buy. In the same way, why I have to follow your concept, why I have to follow this particular hook, why not the other hooks which I do have. So if you deliver the content in the way that you are selling your content to the audience, automatically subconsciously you'll have the kindness added in your delivery.
Yes.
Because when you deliver something, whenever you see a delivery person, he would be in a very pleasing manner, he would be speaking.
Yes.
So this a kindness would be there in his whatever he's speaking.
The
And
tone,
if you
maybe. The tone
Huh,
way he.
exactly. Instead of demanding or something, instead of mentoring the students,
Yes.
that would be another again different side. And
Mhm.
if you sell your content, whatever topic you have in your brain, automatically, subconsciously, you would be having that kindness added in your talk, and you would be point to point, pin to pin. You would be adding everything so
Yes.
that audience would buy your product. Audience would learn your concept. So
Yep.
that is one thing which I would suggest for every speaker whenever he tries to come up with any topic. Try to sell that topic to the people so that you would be covering many things.
Yes. I think this is one of the great advice,
Yes,
and
yes,
that makes the less nervous. for speaker as well, and even the audience will grab the concept very easily. Very easily.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes. So Dinesh, I would like to know more about your mentorship journey and one of the meetup that you have just created a few months back, right? Can you just put more
Yeah.
light on these?
So I've been doing this mentoring from past over 2 years. So
Mhm.
I do also like to teach. So I have find out this thing when the way I'm delivering things,
Mhm.
people are understanding it very much easier
Mhm.
because the voice modulation, the way I'm speaking, is much comfortable for them to listen and much easier for them to understand.
Mhm.
So I've then thought of doing this more. So and teaching is something which gives you that platform or opportunity to do this thing, deliver the content.
Yes.
So I've thought of doing this teaching. Then I've gone through internet and I started searching for educational institutes. I've applied to every education institutes that I'm so and so working as a software engineer. I would like to teach for your students. If there is any chance or opportunity, if I would get, I would like to take for one batch before my office start. I would able to complete that batch morning sessions, and they were
Mhm.
like very much happy that someone has taken the initiative to come forward and start doing teaching. Basically, many people don't take initiative in teaching, so they are also very much interested in having me on board. So I've gone there, I've given demo sessions to the students over there.
Mhm.
So they have loved the way I teach and the content I have divided, the structure I have made for one particular course.
Mhm.
After that, uh, I've got students over online. I'll be having 5 to 6 students for one particular batch, and
Mhm.
I'm teaching web development for them, for
Okay.
all college students. From their third year itself, they're learning web development and other programming languages and DSC concepts.
Mhm.
Depends upon what type of batch I'm teaching. Mainly, I would be teaching DSA with web development. So
Mhm.
from past 2 years, I'm doing this thing. I'll be teaching students morning from 8 to 9:30. Yeah.
Okay. Is this something that you're doing on it your own, or is it for the institute? The 4, 5 to 6 students you said, right? Is it?
I'll be getting students from the institutes.
Mhm.
So it's like, as I've approached many institutes, I'll
Mhm.
be getting some students from one particular institute, some from one particular institute.
Mhm.
Then together I'll make all of them into one batch,
Mhm.
and then I'll start teaching students over there. I'll be having a group created for them.
Mhm.
It's not like they all come under one particular institute, and it's not like I'm working under one institute.
Mhm.
It's something initiative which I've taken. I'll be getting students,
Uh-huh.
as students of love the way of the teaching how I do.
Mhm.
So they'll get contact from the institute, and institute, I'll be receiving students from the institute, and I'll making batch. I'll make a small batch from all the students, and then we'll share all the resources in that particular group.
Mhm.
All the things will be happening inside our 5 members to 6 members. Yeah.
Okay. So, is it like, okay, how many months you take for completing one specific batch?
Yeah, and here and to standardize my education, I like the way I teach.
Mhm.
I don't take all the responses, all the students whomever I get. I'll have an exam, a filter method, like how passionate they are about learning,
Mhm.
because I don't want to teach to the students who are learning because their parent asked them to learn. So I want students who are learning because they want to learn.
Mhm.
So it's not something I'll be taking every student. I'll be connecting with them. I'll ask why you're learning. Do you have any basic foundations or not? Any other things? So I'll make a connection with them. It's like a senior to junior connection.
Mhm.
Senior person is giving advice to a junior person. It's not like a student teacher relationship or a school management relationship. School management relationship would be basically morely based on money. The
Yes.
more students they get, the more money they would get. But here, the suggestions or the teaching which I'm doing here is something like a senior giving his experience and knowledge to the junior developers who are very much interested to
Mhm.
learn web development and worried how to learn about DS and every other thing. So I would be particularly getting them. I'll have one small personal exam, like why you are taking this thing. A Google form would be given to them.
Mhm.
According to that responses, I'll be having students, and I'll be making them a batch.
Okay. Okay. I was also a part of teaching an institute before. So usually
Hmm.
what used to happen is it was kind of 100 days of boot camp. So their initial like for an hour or 30 minutes every day starting, there will be a class for motivation and even at the end of the session of that day. Because it was very much necessary for them to catch up with those students. Um, because since it is an institute, right? So there will be students will be paying some money and getting over there. But even though it has been paid, they that motivation of learning something will fade off gradually. So they need some kind of motivation on a daily basis, which is kind of very much required because 8 hours of sitting continuously in front of the laptop and listening to somebody, sometimes it's like all the tutors will not be the same passionate while teaching, right? It will
Yes.
be kind of very draining. Sometimes the sessions will be very draining unless the tutors are very kind of enthusiastic in teaching, they'll also be more involved in learning. If not, obviously they'll just get lost in those kind of issues. But yeah, but your approach, what I feel is you're already picking the students who are self motivated to learn, and yeah, that's a kind of a good thing.
Yeah. So that makes very much easy for me to teach them, and it makes for them to learn, for them to understand everything. Even if I take students who are not much interested in this course, he would be wasting time here. He
Yes.
would have other interests, right, in business or any other thing. And if I give him a clear instruction, this is what you have to follow your thing, he would be saving much of his time in whatever the things he is passionate about. So his time is getting saved, my time is getting saved. Yeah. And mostly I would be taking one batch for 3 months. I'll be completing web development with DSA, like
Mhm.
basics of DSA and guidance how to move forward, not complete DSA. And he would be the 3 months whatever I'm taking is a start which I'm giving to them.
Mhm.
It's not something I'm saying join my course for 3 months, you'll master web development.
Yes.
I'll give you a perfect start.
Mhm.
You'll understand the foundation. From there, you don't need any mentoring. You can start building your own building. I'll give you the foundation. You can then start exploring, doing, practicing, learning more stuffs in that particular thing. Then you don't need any particular guidance. Many people would be lagging behind the start.
Yes.
If they get perfect start, they will drive by themselves. We don't have to guide them to the entire journey, I feel.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Actually, like I also agree upon that because initially, most of them will not have exposure to the computer science or this kind of field, basically, what actually happens in here. And yeah, once they get to know how to navigate through this, and if they are very good at self-learning, and yeah, they can just ace the things. And yeah, whenever they
Yeah.
required any mentorship kind, obviously, like in online, we got many of them who already been in the industry for so many years, and yeah, they'll be happy to help as well. Like if they have any questions, etc. for them.
Even I personally initiate myself to go to the colleges and guide students over there.
Hmm.
I'll let them know what careers are available in the market and how do you pursue one thing, what are the things you have to learn to become data scientist, data analyst, web development. I'll be telling them what is what, and or how exactly you can become one, so that they'll get a clear picture of the destination, of the options they do have, and the path they have to choose. Then they can according to his skills he can choose his career path. If he's very much good at mathematics and other things, statistics and probability, he would choose machine learning. If he's not that much perfect in mathematics, he would choose something a web development UI. And if he wants something non-coding, he would be choosing some UI UX developer, design side, and some other thing. and if he's were not at all interested in coding part, he would go on to the managing themes and every other thing. So I'll be giving them a career guidance also, how to choose and what to choose, etc. Yeah, that is very much required for students nowadays.
Yes, yes. Actually, this piece of information is much required because, first of all, they'll not be knowing anything. And what I feel is here, college institutes are not giving much exposure to these things. Yeah, they intended to give, but I'm not sure. Like, it is not reaching for everyone.
Yes,
They
yes.
lack the information regarding this.
And people would be more excited only when they hear that the college is getting someone from outside.
Yes.
If college is doing that internally, they'll not get much interest. They'll think it is a normal thing which is happening inside the college. They would neglect.
Yes.
But if college is getting someone from outside, they'll get this curiosity. "Arey, who is this guy? Arey, so this some guy is coming. Let's listen what he says and every other thing."
Yes.
So if college is doing regularly as a part of subject, they'll also look it as a subject and they would neglect it.
Yes.
If we bring it as a something from outside the box as a concept to the college, then people will get much interesting and curiosity to learn and know about the career.
Yes, that's true because even our lecturers, they also tried many times to say all these things, but no, the students will not listen. Like, array, who will listen to them? Like, they'll be exhausted by listening to the classes itself. By the time,
Yes,
and most of them, like in real classes, right? In real time classes, right? They'll bunk the classes most of the time. When it comes to engineering, like, yeah, these things will happen a lot of times.
we have to play according to the student's mentality.
Yes.
As I have came from as a student, I know
Yeah.
all these things because even I am not very much interested what my lecturer is saying. I'll be very much interested if some senior Baya is coming to my class and delivering something.
Yeah.
That is very much interesting. If someone is coming from outside the class, a senior Baya is coming, he's ex Google developer. He'll be coming and giving you an ideas. Then you will be registered. Are Google, Microsoft, this, that. You will be listening. That's how our brain or our college life is getting played, and we have to play in that way. So that is how you have to reach students. You have to reach students in their way.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I also noticed you have started the meetup, right? So how this idea came for you and why meetup?
So generally, when I'm browsing over the YouTube, I would see many gaming streams happening,
Yes.
many other streams are happening, many career streams are happening, gaming streams happening, chit chat streams are happening.
Trading
So then
will happen daily, like as we know.
huh, normal chit chat streaming. Nowadays watching reels, he would be watching reels and he's making that as a stream.
Yes.
So watching reels and memes is now becoming a stream, and people are watching him. He's watching memes. See, this some kind of a stream, and this is now which is happening. And I felt, okay, why don't we start something in
Mhm,
the tech industry? Why don't people why don't people see how a senior or an experienced developer is solving a problem,
mhm.
right? And that would give him the way he is thinking.
Yes.
So if I would solve a one particular machine coding problem, and I've done that also, I've done two live streams.
Mhm,
I've taken one popular machine coding problem.
mhm.
I'll be explaining the problem, and it is the first time even I am looking into the problem. It is not something I have gone through the problem, so that then only they'll get the perfect insights how I am thinking, right? If
Yes.
I already know the problem, I'll know the solution, so I'll go according to the solution.
Yes.
But something I've picked up randomly from the internet then and there, which I haven't solved before, so that my thinking, how long does it take for me to get the logic over there.
Yes.
So as experience grows, as you solve many problems, many machine coding problems, you would solve them quickly.
Yes.
So as I have doing them before doing the live stream, I have solved many machine coding problems. So
Mhm,
then in the live stream, I have picked one problem which is even new for me,
mhm.
and if I solve that particular problem, the way I think, the way I use my coding skills to solve that problem, the way I write the code, and even I can take suggestions from the people in the chat. It's not something always your solution is an optimal solution, right? People might also have very, very optimal solutions. So I've got to know while coding itself, I've got to know we can improve the performance by adding caching here.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing. The thought hasn't given me a strike at that particular instinct,
Mhm.
but I have received some suggestions from the audience over the chat. So it's not them learning from me. It's also I am learning from them. Together we are handling one particular problem. It is something only I am in the inside. I am standing in front to handle the scenario, and people over who are watching the YouTube video would also give suggestions. So together, it's not me only solving the problem. It's we together solving that problem, right? So I learn something, you learn something. We'll get something from this stream, right? So if we do have like these streams happening in the YouTube, obviously you would not be wasting any of your time on Instagram, any other thing,
Yeah.
because we would be spending much of our time in the Instagram because that is interesting. The reels, whatever you watch, is interesting. The stories are interesting. The memes are interesting. So it's not Instagram is attracting you. It is the interest what they generate is attracting you.
Yeah.
If you could do the same thing on the coding, solving the machine coding problems, discussing, have a debate over one particular topic, many people would be interested in these things, right?
Yes.
If two people are fighting over one library, obviously many people would love to watch the fight. We Indians
Yes.
are very much curious, have this curiosity of fighting when people fight. So why don't we fight on technology? If I'll say React is best, and someone will say Angular is best, and if we both fight, we are fighting on knowledge. People would be interesting because this is a fight. So they would also watching this thing.
Yeah.
They'll get that satisfaction. They're watching the fight, and also they'll get the knowledge, the points which I'm talking on React, and the points which he is talking on Angle. So it's a win-win situation. You'll get self-satisfaction that you're watching a fight, and also you'll get something from that fight. You're learning something from that fight. So I'm thinking to make content more interesting way, so that people would be as addicted to the Instagram, as addicted to the social media. He has to addict to the tech world. It's not something new. It's just how you deliver is matters. That's
Right.
it.
Yes, yes. Obviously, like I am into it. Most of the time, what happens, these kind of debates, what you said, on packages, libraries, these things will happen in corporate life. Because maybe the software engineers might not feel that, but when you grow in the career of tech, right? So there you will
Hmm.
get to, these kind of things will come in between tech leads and architects. Yeah, we have to go with this library because so and so things are there, pros and
Yes.
cons.
Yes.
This is a kind of healthy discussion
Yeah.
we already do in our daily, day to day things. Like as a day to day,
Yeah.
already we are doing it. But yeah, like you have this, good thought to put it on alive. And the one good thing is, like, usually when we say coding, people think like some kind of anime, just typing, and they're just seeing, that is not the actual case. Like, you're just trying to
Yes.
show the reality of what coding looks like. But yeah, that is specifically on a specific problem. But again, in reality, it depends on the meetings that we attend and the discussions
Hmm.
that we have. Yeah, I
Yes.
just found it like very good. And even in this kind of podcast also, I'm trying to bring up the people to have this kind of discussion on technologies, frameworks, and in-depth discussion, because that is kind
Yes.
of more necessary. It is not just about the project that we are working. We also should know like why these exist, and why the specific library or a framework was being chosen.
Hmm.
These kind of
Hmm.
information are very much required for end users. That is what I feel like, basically, for software engineers
Yes.
of
Yeah.
any sort. Maybe, like, even though they are architects, even though they are leads, they need what is going on in the industry at late
Yes.
at the latest.
Yeah. So basically, the beauty of debate is there is no win here. No, there is no team. We can say he is the winner or he is the winner.
Yeah.
According to him, he is the winner. According to him, he is the winner. According to the requirement, everybody is winner,
Yes.
right? So if that is one thing, that is the beauty of debate.
Yes.
You are hero for your own life. In the same way, your tech stack is great for your own project and own requirements.
Because that's where the knowledge will be lagging. So online we get, okay, React is there, okay, it has been used for so and so, and Angular we can use for so and so. But in practical experience, if we can bring the people and talk about it, that will be more informative, and that will be based on raw experience rather than just seeing in the chat GPT saying, okay, just use this blindly. Yeah, like at least nowadays people are having chat GPT, but yeah, before 3 4 years before chat GPT, it was like raw information that we used to Google, and we used to get from senior people to understand better what.
Yeah. So the community also which I have started, the name of the community is Web Innovators.
Yes.
So something I've got this name because innovation is something which we have to do on any particular upcoming, whatever problem you are doing or whatever thoughts over there. So together, if you can innovate and spend some time over there, then you could beautifully innovate that product or whatever application you are creating. So Web Innovators, we will be together. The community is all about, not about me or not about one single person. Together we will be scrapping over web, learning how web works, finding out the solutions and every other thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we are
a
over 60 members, I guess, right now.
great. So, okay, if you want to say an audience like in a few lines why they have to register or attend this meetup, you can just summarize it in 1 or 2 lines.
If you are a person who wants to learn and who wants to give learning whatever you do have, like if you are having this mentality to grow together, then this is the perfect thing where we can grow together. You learn something, and you could be the part for us where you can teach us something, right? It's not always information is not something a one way communication.
Yeah.
Knowledge is also not a one way pass through. We can get it from many things. We can also receive from the people whom we are giving the knowledge. So it's a community of togetherness, of not I or you, it's about we.
Yes.
So that is the main thing I've started this thing. So if you are very much interested of we creating something or we learning something, then you are very much happy, and we are very much happy to have you on community.
That's great. So, Dinesh, I have a few specific questions for you before we wrap up the session. So, my first question would be, how important do you think networking and community involvement are for a developer's career? How these?
You know, I would say how important is internet. In the same way, networking is also very much important for a developer, because internet is something which connects between two systems, right? In the same way, networking is the same thing which connects two developers. So if there is no internet, you cannot able to communicate from one system to another system. In the same way, if there is no networking concept or no meetups attending concept, you would be not finding your like-minded people, first thing.
Yes.
So networking and meetups, attending meetups will allow you to find your like-minded people. You would learn many things. You would overcome the fear, because you would be speaking out to the people, right? The
Yes.
fear of talking, you would be overcoming. You would be improving the communications. You would also learning the corporate style of doing the things if you are a fresher. If you're not into the corporate, like yet, you're not into the corporate yet, but if you attend those meetings, you would understand the corporate style of writing the code, corporate style of understanding the things. So as internet is something which connects people over the areas, in the same way I would say meetup is something which connects physically
Mhm.
from one person to another person, share their point of view, share your point of view to others. So if you have these things, it would be very much great for your career also. You'll understand, you'll be not falling behind the technology, first thing. You would be up to the date, you would be going with the trend, you would be going with the people, It's like simply, I would say, it's a race happening, and if you want to stay in the race, you have to follow up with the networking, follow up with the meetups and everything. If you stay behind, you would be only lagging behind, and you will be knowing only what you know, not what the world knows. So if you have this ability to go out, talk with people, that is wonderful thing actually. Everyone has to do that. As a developer, we have to do that, like go there initially, attend meetups. Later on, you would slightly get an interesting thing in your in yourself, like, and I also want to deliver something. That's how speakers are born.
Yeah.
Initially they would be attending something, and he'll also have something to share. When he has that feeling to something to share, then automatically he will be registering for the upcoming event, whatever is happening. So this
Yeah.
is very much important for him to come communication, and also to stay up to the date inside the trends. This is very much important.
Yes. Most of the time, what happens when the speakers will be giving their talk, most of the time we will get connected to the work that we are already doing and will be more into like ask the questions about more about what they are speaking of, and we will try to give the inputs that what we have.
Yes,
Automatically it happens, like it's not like they'll be intended, because if you hear something which you already working, etc., like you feel like more interested in that.
exactly. When you get to know that the speaker is working or delivering something which you have faced the problem, or facing the problem at something like you might be solving that particular problem in one particular way, and you'll get to know there is another way of solving that problem, much easier, very much quicker. That is also very much
Yes.
advantage for you in your career wise, and in your development wise and every other thing. That is something which I love regarding meetups. And if I'm unable to attend the meetups, you could able to go to the YouTube or any other thing, listen for podcasts, listen what senior peoples are talking on one particular thing. Open
Mhm.
LinkedIn, follow some great people who share their insights on one particular topic. Right? You could read it out there. What they are, what is their view over this particular concept and every other thing.
Yes.
Now, this you have to make it as a habit, I would say. Like for example, you would brush your teeth every day in the morning in the same way. Open the LinkedIn, go through the posts, what people are thinking, everything. You if you do this daily, automatically it will become a habit.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, next time whenever you open the laptop, the first thing you would be opening is LinkedIn. It's not something you're opening because you want to learn something, but subconsciously, as you're habituated, whenever you wake up in the morning, subconsciously your hand goes through near brush, right? In the same way, if you open your laptop, your browser would be going into LinkedIn. That is something which comes when you do it regularly, right? So that would I would suggest, make it as a habit, like reading a newspaper. Like olden days, our people, our family members, or our parents would do, right? Reading the newspaper, following up the trends. What is he saying? What is he saying? And etc. etc. Nowadays, LinkedIn has become our social media newspaper for us to stay on trend and everything. And Instagram has become the social entertainment newspaper for us.
Yes. Yeah, but still, like even today I love reading newspapers. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, actually, even I do love reading newspapers, but for me, uh, there is a funny moment here.
Uh,
When I'm when I when I'm in 10th class, I guess I don't have this habit of reading newspaper. So my father used
uh,
to make me sit beside him. He would be giving me the business paper, and he asked me to read.
okay.
I'm very poor at my local language,
Mhm.
Telugu.
Okay.
So it was very hard for me to read the Telugu.
Okay.
So I'm very much afraid that to read that newspaper in front of my father. If he asked me to read the same English textbook, I would very much confident enough, because I'm very much good at reading the English textbook. But Telugu language is something where I was lagging behind in the school, the
Mhm.
writing things and everything. So it's all upon uh, what you love, right? So my father used to love newspapers, so he used to read the newspapers. So now for me, I'm very much interested in looking on the post, reading the comments. what other is commenting on this post, what is his point on this particular topic, and every other thing.
Yeah.
That is what now interest for me. So that is how I've switched from newspaper trend to the social media post trend.
Okay, the thing is, like in newspaper, we get to know about more about social aspects.
Yeah.
Maybe some part like Sudoku, those kind of things, like interest
Ah,
me sometimes. Like I used to just like complete them. I used to do that. Like now, yeah, of course, like we have mobiles, we have iPads, we can just play on directly
yeah,
through the apps.
all these, all the newspaper things, Sudoku game,
Yeah.
they are the inspiration for LinkedIn. They are also bringing up the new games, right? The Queen's Game.
Yes.
Many games are on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If you could see, all those things are being inspired from this newspaper trend which we used to have olden days.
Next question. So,
Hmm.
what is the one tech skill and one non-tech skill that you believe every developer should have?
Okay, so I would say tech skill is problem solving. That every developer should have problem solving skills. Doesn't matter how you're solving the problem. Doesn't matter what language you're using.
Mhm.
End of the day, thinking how, like, when you're solving a problem, there are certain things you have to follow,
Mhm.
efficient way, performatic wise, time complexities, all these things would matter when you're solving a problem. Solving a problem is one thing, how you're solving a problem is one thing, and what doesn't matter is which language you're using. So it
Yes.
doesn't matter which language you're using, whatever languages you're comfortable. I would suggest Python or JavaScript to get started. If you're already a Java developer, obviously you can use Java or C++. But
Mhm.
if you're starting something from new, this is something I would suggest, Python and JavaScript. This is one technical skill everyone should have, problem solving.
Mhm.
And non-tech skill, I would say, is communication.
Mhm.
Communication is something which you need to have for every developer. It is also helpful for you to, in your company and in your career. If you have something in your brain that would reach to the other person only when you communicate.
Yes.
Otherwise, the views would be destroyed at yourself only. The creative thinking, whatever you do have, that might be great actually,
Mhm.
and that can only be delivered only if you could communicate. Might be difficult for some people who are very much introvert kind of nature. They might not able to feel to deliver it. They'll be like having this fear inside them. But I would just say, whenever you're trying to communicate with other persons, if you're unable to communicate, remember this thing, that if you're not able to communicate, your idea is going to be dead.
Yes.
Remember this thing, and you'll worry that your idea is going to be dead. When you worry about something, obviously you will be communicating, because you don't want your idea to be dead. It doesn't matter whether they accept it or not.
Yes.
What matters is you're putting it out, right? So they would be giving you some suggestions. Hey, Dinesh, your idea have this flaw. Why don't you work it on it?
Yes.
See, by communicating out, you got to know that you're having some flaw in your idea.
Yes.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get it right, because your idea is perfect for you
Yes.
always. If you could bring out any issues in that idea, other points of view, other people seeing that would be different. Then you would be modifying accordingly, and when they use your idea, you'll have that feeling. When your creative thought has been used, you'll have a great feeling over there, right?
Yes.
If you're falling behind to tell your idea, and if someone has told that idea, you'd be having that regret. "Arey, why didn't I have told this thing? This is my idea. I have come up with this thing."
Yes. So as we were discussing about communication, yes, for extroverts it's not a problem, but when it comes to introverts, to put up the things, they always feel like whatever we say will they'll be having some kind of hurdle that they can't speak up. For them, like I usually suggest is they can just put it in a textual format, in a more concise way, so that they won't be having that feel of judgment. And if we are putting it in a words, we think more clearly, and the message what we are trying to say for the managers or leads, that will be kind of very much clear rather than just saying it out in a words. If they're not comfortable, I think that they can just put it in a textual format.
Yeah. So communication is important and doesn't matter on what medium you're trying to do that, either
Yes.
verbal or either chat, either you shoot a video and send it. Anything would works. You
Yes.
just have to get out from your thing, like get out from you, whatever you have in your brain. It should get just pop out from you. Yeah.
Yep. And most of the newbies think like if they're not good at speaking English, basically, they feel some kind of uh, inferiority complex. Like they are good at,
Hmm.
like I can't pronounce
Yes.
my words properly. It's basically, it's not about the language that you speak that should be a
Yeah.
hurdle. It's like as and when they start communicating, the things will be fine until they understand it properly. That is good. Like they don't need to be a pro in order to have communicate what they think. That's what I feel like. They have to just
Yeah.
speak it out, like irrespective of the grammatical mistakes that can happen.
Obviously, end of the day, it has to reach correctly. It
Yes.
doesn't matter how you deliver it and what language you are speaking.
Yeah, because no one is perfect. If it is coming to the perfection kind of thing, it's just because of the experience. And yeah, often even experienced people also feel difficult in order to uh, put in words sometimes, and
Mm.
that's okay.
It's completely fine, actually.
Yep.
We're all not always perfect. We
Yep.
will be having something so that you can learn while you're growing, right? So communication, your speakings will also would be increasing when you do communications and when you do it rapidly, every time,
Yeah.
every day, will automatically it will increase your communication.
Yes. Yeah. So, Dinesh, my last question for you would be like, if you could give one piece of career advice to someone just starting in tech, what would it be?
Okay, so first thing which I would be giving, I mean, if you are really want some career advice in the tech,
Yeah.
first of all, you need to love the tech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would be my first primary thing. Don't come into the tech so like for any other purpose, like someone has insisted you to do. You have to learn the tech. You have to love the tech. So know about the technology, know about the things what you're about to do. For example, if you want to start your career in web development, know about web development. What is web development? What are the things we do on web development, right? So know about all those stuff. Fall in love with the subject. That would be the first step which I would be suggesting you guys to do. And then eventually make a plan, list down the things, whatever you want to learn. If this is the destination, write down the path and also the stops, whatever you have to, and also the tools, whatever required to complete that path to reach the destination. Have a roadmap, mind map, and every other thing. Do it as a activity and genuinely invest your time and genuinely continuously increase your knowledge over that. And also, I'll try to say this thing: when you're trying to pursue something, don't do it for a purpose. Like, for example, I mean, don't learn for interview, or don't learn to tell something or to teach someone. Learn because you love the subject. So when you learn because you love the subject, you'll learn very strong. You'll grasp things very strong. You'll explore more things, and you will be very much perfect into it. So if you learn something to get a job, you will learn up to the still, like you learn to an extent only to get the job, and you'll stop that after you get into the job. If you learn to teach someone, you'll learn up to there. But if you learn by loving the subject, obviously you would be still continuously learning the things, because love is not something which
That.
fades out easily, right? Yeah, and there is no end to it. Also, you would be always experiencing new things in it. You would fall more, you'd love more, but you'll not be having any bored feeling or any other thing if you learn something by loving the subject. So I would suggest this thing.
Yeah. So I think this was a very great session to have with you, Dinesh. And I'm very thankful for you, for your time, um, for your great insights.
And thank you for having me in this podcast. I think whatever we do have might be helping one or two people who are watches this podcast, right? And I think you guys would be having our LinkedIn mentioned in the description. You can go there, and we are always available. Who are watching this video, we are always available over the LinkedIn, right?
Yes. So, and also, guys, we do a one-on-one mentoring session as well. So, if you have any, if you feel you guys need any kind of a guidance from either of us, you guys can just check out our top mate pages and yeah, book us.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Dinesh, once again.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.